wouldn't mind ringing.
Yeah. 2 or 3 times.
Yes.
I was, just sitting here thinking while I was listening to that 19.5-foot shark,
You were thinking, all right, that's dangerous. Go ahead.
And, it's really a bad year for Cleveland sports, okay?
You just came, you had to think about that.
And you want to know why it's really a bad year?
Yeah, tell me why it's a bad year. That's a hell of an observation from
You want to know what the first clue was?
What was the first clue?
That year?
What was the first clue?
The Indians would wind up with the best record of all our sports teams.
That's true.
You know that?
Yeah.
That's really telling you what kind of year we had.
They were the best.
Yeah,
They were the best.
Wonderful.
Well,
anyway, let's talk about the Cleveland Browns here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
There's a player I want to get. And we can get him.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that.
There's absolutely no problem with getting this man.
Wonderful.
The team that has him has no use for him.
Good.
Okay? And I think he could be all pro.
Fine. So you mind perhaps mentioning him to us?
Yeah, his name's Tom Cousineau.
Tom Cousineau. Oh, you have heard me mention his name a few times, I hope, in the last month.
Yes. Well, I'd like to see him here.
Well,
what we'd have to do is give Buffalo our first-round draft choice next year. And I think we could have Tom Cousineau. In other words, keep our first round this year and say to Buffalo, listen, we'll give you our first round next year. And they're getting equal payment for him. He hasn't proved himself in the NFL yet.
Well, I think I would rather do it another way. I think we're in concord of mind and spirit on this, but I think I would rather move some people that occupy that position now for number one. If you follow me, prepare a package for a number one and give them a number one. And I would prefer not to trade away number one draft choices. I really have a strong belief in that. But what I would prefer to do is collect additional draft choices, and perhaps then I could barter with that. But I am of the opinion that Tom Cousineau is an excellent football player, and I'd like to utilize him as soon as humanly possible. And I am of the belief that Tom would like to play here, providing Cleveland would come up with adequate compensation.
Howard Slusher isn't his agent, is it?
It is not his agent, no. His agent is not Howard Slusher. I'm not completely sure who his agent is. Come to think of it,
that's another mistake our organization makes, okay? Mm-hmm. We won't draft Howard Slusher players.
Mm-hmm.
Hotels come right out and said that.
I don't recall him ever saying that.
Well, when he was dealing with the Spadini deal...
No, I don't recall him ever flat out saying that, or being quoted saying that. No.
He said that he would avoid, at all costs, Howard Slusher...
No, I don't recall that.
Football players.
I don't recall that at all. I think you're manufacturing that.
Well, I'm almost positive.
Almost positive is not enough. You have to be 100% certain, and then send me the evidence.
Ask him that. I think he'll tell you that.
Well,
that limits your draft right off the bat.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't, because I think I'm of the same opinion as Art Modell. I would avoid Slusher players if it were me. Was
Slusher Fred Dean's agent?
I don't believe so. But I would avoid Slusher because I believe in spending a big buck. I believe in building a competitive franchise, and I believe in doing everything possible and then going some and beyond. But I don't believe you can get to the point that Howard Slusher wants to get to. There are, by and large, the majority of agents within the bounds of reason. But when you're dealing with Howard Slusher, in my judgment, you're dealing with a man that can destroy the club. Really can literally destroy the club. So I'm afraid I wouldn't deal with Howard Slusher. I'm afraid I would have a hands-off policy if I owned any club in this city. The only difference is I would come flat out, if I could legally make that statement. I might be advised by my lawyers not to make that observation, and I'm simply not interested in you, if Howard Slusher is your agent, because I just would not care to deal with the man.
Let me ask you another question while we're talking about football here. You talk about Dallas. You mentioned the name Dallas a number of times.
Yes.
On paper, I would agree with you. They have the best front four in football.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
How do you explain the fact that they are second last in defending the pass, then?
Well, I think that we need to remind you that last night I read some statistics that the Cleveland Browns broke every record in the history of this franchise this year.
Yeah, I understand all that. I'm not.
No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Give me the opportunity as a gentleman to answer your question. Will you please?
Sure.
Considering it's my show, and the Cleveland Browns broke every record for passes completed and all kinds of good things in yardage. They were marvelous. But there's only one statistic of any importance after all is said and done, and that is won or lost, pure and simple. And that is the statistic that I refer to as meaningful over the last decade and a half since the Cowboys came of age.
I realize that.
And since they've had a similar system with a similar type of defense as the foundation, with all kinds of problems over the years. So basically what I'm suggesting and preaching is the stability concept, the consistency concept.
I mean, how do you explain that they're second last with that front four?
I explain it as follows, that statistics are meaningless. And they also have a free agent who leads everybody in football in interceptions, by the way. And the greatest causal factor for interceptions is the pass rush.
I understand it, but how do you explain with that team that they are second? You can throw the ball so easily on them.
Yeah, but they also lead in interceptions.
I understand all that, but I just, I'm kind of baffled here how a team with that great of a secondary and that great of a front four and good linebackers can be second last defending. I would think that they would have to be the top team against the pass.
Well, they are the top team, and the reason you can complete a great deal of passes against a team like that is, first of all, you don't have a lot of opportunity to set up and throw because the heat's on you. So what you do is dump off, flare, screen, hooks, a lot of things like that are short little gains, and they, cumulatively speaking, and statistically speaking, they're very impressive. Very much like the Cleveland Browns holding the ball a long time against some of their recent opponents that they've taken. If you had the statistics of the Seattle game and ignored the turnovers, we murdered them. So, again, you must remember that you have to stop being a fan and stop reading those damn statistics, because there are certain keys, there are certain meaningful aspects of it. And when you understand what the team is doing, what its system is, the statistics are neither here nor there. Our statistics were great against the Yankees offensively. Wonderful.
Are you telling me Dallas will win the Super Bowl?
No, I don't know who's going to win the Super Bowl, but I think they've got a hell of a shot, don't you?
You think they'll be the favorite to win the Super Bowl?
They could be. If I had to pick someone now, I think I'd pick them.
They have to play, how do you think San Francisco will do their first time around?
I think they'll do pretty good. I think they're solid. I think they're a solid football team.
You think they need to be in the playoffs 1 year before...
No, I don't buy that. I don't buy that. I really don't.
You don't buy that playoff experience means something?
No, I really don't. I think that's a wonderful excuse that you hear every year from the losers. I really don't think it's that important. I think there have been too many teams in the history of sports that have gone smack dab into a playoff situation or World Series situation with great desire, great talent, and have ignored that and have known how to win.
I have another question. You know,
It didn't seem to affect Magic Johnson, as I recall, the first time he was in the playoff.
he's a heck of a player.
Well, that's the point. That's the point. Hey, I got to run.
So can I ask you just one last question?
No, you can't. We're fighting the clock.
I mean, this is
We're fighting the clock. We can't fight